Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion, Christian Ramey. And back again for another week, clapping them ass cheeks, it's the best producer in the whole wide world, Mr. Ozark Mark. Mark, what say you?
What's up, you sloppy bitches?
Hey.
Hey. Welcome back. Welcome back. You are back up in this bitch with us. We're here in the Sloppy Pot, bringing you these beautiful airwaves right into your fucking ear canal.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. And we are in the midst. We're getting towards, we hit the turn now. We're on the back end of the Hello, My Name Is season.
Hello.
And this has been a killer season so far, I'm not gonna lie. We had 3 bangers of a movies, and then, we're just keeping on rolling here.
This one is fun.
We're gonna be all up in your guts. All up in your guts.
This movie is like one of those, like, real recognized real movies. If somebody calls out this movie, you just kind of have that, like, you know what's up. You know what's up. And I know you guys have listened to the intro already. Well, maybe not if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, what's going on? You better be subscribed. You better subscribe. You don't just watch this without being subscribed, by the way. And if you don't just audio listen without giving 5 stars either.
I know, it's a fucking button. Just click it.
Yeah. But that being said, this is one of those flicks that I think was bigger than people understand now. When I was a kid, Spawn was huge.
Spawn.
I had Spawn. I had all kind of Spawn comics.
Spawn.
Comic books, cartoon characters and books. You flip the pages. So I know not everybody in our generation was a Spawn junkie. I know not everybody fell into that, but there was a large variety of kids who were. And Todd McFarlane and the work that he did. Is it kind of, can you tell the coinky-dink that Todd McFarlane also made Venom?
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot to get into with this one because it's very 90s. Like, it's placed solidly in the 90s. And, boy, it shows in some scenes. It really does. It has not aged well, but it almost kind of makes it cooler now. Like, there was a time frame 10, 15 years after it where you're like, I don't know. 20-something years after, you're like, oh, this is interesting. It just looks different, reminds me of my childhood. It's like watching, like, those old school, before the NBA games, like the... And it would just have like the cool graphics of like Reggie Miller and Michael Jordan, and like in hindsight they're not very good graphics. They look like a 90s video game. But it's just kind of what makes it. If you're watching the clips, you're like, oh, okay, I like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because once things from this age came out, they were cool, and then a few years go by, technology gets more intense, and then it looks horrible, and then once you hit to a certain point of age with these things, then you get into nostalgic.
Yeah, and almost unique.
Yeah, and then it's cool again.
It's like unique too because you're like, there's no really other flick that feels like Spawn. It has its own feel in good ways and bad ways. It has its limitations, but also parts where it really, really exceeds. I don't know, Mark. I don't even know where to start with this son of a bitch.
Well, won't you start with a synopsis like we always do?
Actually, we gotta fill the shoes first.
Okay.
Fill the shoes with the path of the wicked. Unleash the fury, let the chaos ring.
Yeah, my butthole just left my body after that headbanging experience. What the hell was that? Never mind.
Yeah, I know RPMs just went up in cars.
Fuck
I
yeah,
know
they
that
did.
for a fact.
Yes.
I know that for a fact. All right. The urge to stand up out of your office chair got a little crazier. Well, before we can give a proper synopsis, people need to know when this movie came out. Because as we alluded to, it's a little corny at moments, but if you knew that the movie came out on August 1st, 1997, can you really hold that much pressure to it? Can you hold a gun to its head? I mean, it's a victim of its time. This was 1997. And I will tell you why this movie gets a little bit of a break, because the number one movie at that time, a movie I love, a super serious movie, an intense movie, but it has a horrible CGI ending. Air Force One. That's such a good movie, dude. Like, Gary Oldman's the bad guy, like Harrison Ford's the president, and he's a Michigan fan. Like, there's all kinds of cool things I love about that movie, but when that plane goes down, you're like,
Yeah.
can we update this? Like, I know we can. Like, can we just I would rather watch it with an updated scene. Like, I would not mind if they remastered the ending of Air Force One.
I don't think planes are a little bit hard to do in this country now.
I know, but you can, like, it's a movie already made, you know, just like remaster the flick and just make it look more intense because it hits water. It's not hitting like a, building or anything. It's just, it's hitting water. Hold your horses. All right. You know what else was at, top of the movies at this time? Because Spawn, upon release that Friday, it went to number 1.
Ooh.
But Air Force One was number 1 upon release.
Mm-hmm.
George
of the Jungle. George. Watch out for that tree.
Yeah. That was a great movie. Brendan Fraser. That movie had a chokehold on our generation.
Yeah, it did.
That was a good one.
It was.
It wasn't a recent release, but it had been in the top 10 at the box office for like 30 weeks. Men in Black.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also-
Classic movie.
Also the case with Face Off. And then we had Air Bud, bro.
Air Bud.
Air Buddy.
I watched that a shit ton when I was a kid.
I do love Air Bud.
Who doesn't?
Guess what else came
There's
out?
a dog that plays basketball. Who doesn't like that?
That's cool. I mean, honestly, just the premise right alone, I want to watch that.
I
You
know.
said
But then
a
they
dog
then they start getting ridiculous with it. They made him play basketball or not. He made him play football and I don't know, baseball. I don't know. They made him play a bunch of
They
stupid
made
shit
him
after
into a UFC fighter.
He's playing croquet. It was nuts.
Octagon Buddy.
Oh, stop.
Okay, so here's the deal. Good Burger also came out. You remember Good
Yes.
Burger?
I haven't seen the second one yet, and I'm afraid to.
So things going on with TV around that time. Buffy came out that year. Love that show. But you remember they had the TGIF? This was really popular where they'd have like the Step by Step, Boy Meets World, Family Matters. They had all these shows coming on. It was good stuff. But that year, Family Matters and Step by Step, they went to another network. Kind of created some Friday Night Wars.
Oh, shit.
Other popular shows. What about Nash Bridges?
Nash Bridges.
Nash Bridges was pretty good. He had a badass car. Really badass car. You want to know what the songs were? Because there was an impactful moment. The 10 Crack Commandments writer himself died,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Biggie Smalls.
Mm-hmm.
Which, it doesn't make sense. You can't be big and small. But, that's okay. That's
You can be.
You
You can be.
How the fuck you big and small? I say that to my son sometimes. Like, what are you doing, you little skinny fat fuck? Like, you little fucking skinny fat fucker. But you remember that movie or that Whitest Kid You Know skit, where they kill Abraham Lincoln? First off, real quick, if you guys ever get a moment, watch that skit, The Whitest Kid You Know, Abraham Lincoln. It's like the assassination, but the dude was up there like just talking shit. Or it was Abraham Lincoln talking shit, and he was like, "Hey, you fat skinny bitch!" Like, "Hey, stand up, you little skinny son of a bitch! Hey, what do you want from me, you fat fuck?" Like, he just kept going back and forth, and sometimes he'd put them together, and I don't know why that's really funny because it's like, especially if the person's neither.
It's like an oxymoron or something.
Yeah, it is. You know what else was pretty cool was Jinko jeans in 1997.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Starter jackets.
Yep.
I like those. I did. Tamagotchis really started to take off because they were released late 96. Tickle Me Elmo. That tickles. Him, that little fucker. Little
Yeah.
redheaded demon who would talk in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And then, dun, James Bond GoldenEye 007 for N64.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Oh, my God. That started everything.
Don't know if you've heard of it. You can
That
go around and kill
started
Peter Pan.
Everything.
I like that level where you kill Peter Pan.
I still have that game.
It's a fun game.
I love it.
But some of the number one songs at the time, I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy because Biggie died.
Mm-hmm.
Carrying Your Love With Me by George Strait. West Virginia down to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And then, I just want to fly, Sugar Ray.
You know they were a metal band before?
Now, did you ever see that?
I have them, dude. They were a metal band before they went to what they are now, and some of their songs ain't bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you ever see, they were like leaving, Mark McGrath was like leaving a club one night, and he looks clearly drunk and coked up, like he's like just on another level. But some like 19-year-old kid was like, Sugar Gay! And he said, who the fuck said that? Who the fuck, I'll choke your, like he was so fucked up he couldn't like come up with cool insults. He's like, I'll choke your fucking face and head off. You're fucking, you want me to do that? And kid's like, nah, I didn't say it. Like the kid, it was a total win for that kid. If you ever get, look up Sugar Gay if you're looking for a good laugh.
Be careful though when you look that up.
He just said it so casually though. Sugar Gay. Who the fuck said that?
That was the highlight of that kid's life, you know.
Bro, it would have been mine too. But also, I didn't mention that was another big event that year. Was Princess Diana year. That's when she died.
Who?
Princess Diana.
Who the fuck's? Oh, over in England?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Royal family.
So,
If you're in England, I'm sorry, but the royal family is just the biggest scam ever.
well, it's more about tradition now.
I know, but
It's
still,
like
I mean,
they have like the parliament shit that runs government and shit. Like they
yeah,
got
but
prime minister.
They're rich for no reason.
For sure. But it's just what they do.
I know.
Now, I gotta say a little bit about sports. Impactful year for sports. Your 1997 Major League Baseball champions were the Florida Marlins. Your 1997 NFL champions were the Denver Broncos. Your 1997 NBA champions were the Chicago Bulls. And your 1997 NHL Stanley Cup winners were the Detroit Red Wings.
That voice was intense. I like that. You should keep doing that.
That's all from me, Mark. That's honestly, we like if we really fuck up, man, I think we could just do voice career, like voice acting. It's just like somebody's got like an Animaniac style cartoon. Like, all right, we need two idiots with voices.
I want to.
All
That'd
right,
be
yeah,
so
we
fun.
can help.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
It's almost like you'd feel
How do
guilty.
you get into that?
Voice acting, dude. It's out there, bro.
I know, but how do you do it? Where do you start?
You gotta start somewhere.
I know, but where?
Sloppy cartoons, dog.
Oh,
We're gonna
then-
make some sloppy stuff.
All right, somebody get us an animator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AI, dog. We don't even need it.
The Sloppy Horror Show.
We've got T-1000s now out, dude. We've got Terminators we can use.
That's true.
I mean, if somebody wants to do it for free, that's fine. But we are what you would call cheap people. Okay? We don't have like the $100,000 to pay like a really, really nice artist. But Arnold Schwarzenegger will make it. You just type it into him, and he'll give it to you. The old Allen Iverson machine. He'll give you whatever you want.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my shoes are been filled. I am in 1997. Now,
What a year!
tell me, and it was a great year. It was a great year. Now tell me, good sir, about Spawn, as if I've never seen it.
Spawn. What if I just give you the basic IMBD? I'm going to give you mine and then the IMBD because this is going to be one of those ones that goes all over because the movie is all over.
Okay.
So, covert government assassin Al Simmons, played by Michael Jai White, is killed after being double-crossed by his boss, Jason Wynn, Martin Sheen. Upon arriving in Hell, Simmons is offered an opportunity to return to Earth if he's willing to lead an evil army. He accepts, and he is reincarnated as the Hellspawn, a twisted, horribly disfigured version of his former self. However, Spawn serves as a force of good, much to the dismay of the devil's henchman, a wicked clown known as the Violator. That's kind of not a great description all the way.
No.
So,
I think yours is going to be better.
what we got is we have a fella, all right, and his name is Al Simmons. He's a nice guy. He's married. He's married to a woman with a child. He's got that family life going on. but he works for some like crazy government agency that like he's like a hitman almost, like a crazy like SEAL Team 6. He's like SEAL Team 666, dude. Like he's nuts. This guy's crazy. He's got to do the Major Payne missions. Like you remember Major Payne when he had to, whatever he was doing. That's who he's with.
Yeah.
He's with Major Payne. So they've gone out doing all these kind of things. Well, long story short, they send him out to do this mission, and Martin Sheen, which Martin Sheen is first off, such a great actor. But here's the rule with him. If he has a goatee, he's a bad guy. If he has no facial hair, he's a good guy. It's the rules of Martin Sheen. And it's like, he does look scarier with a goatee. You're like, oh, he's a bad guy. Like, he has the bad guy look.
Bad guys always have goatees.
But, like, if you think of him in The Departed, where he's clean shaved, like, come in, get you something to eat, get you a plate. You're like, oh, no, that's somebody's dad.
Right.
Like, it's weird because some people don't have that kind of dichotomy to play both. It's just like, you're either like a good guy or a bad guy. And he does very well. Because you remember, what was the Dead Zone, where he played like I forget what his name. I almost feel like his last name was Stillwell, like the Stilts or so
he was a government guy.
Like whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like the president guy to be, and he was like evil looking. It's just funny how he can play both different roles, but he kills Al. He kills him. And Al goes to hell because he's been doing bad shit on Earth. But this, like, one of these demons offers him a deal. Says, hey, you can come back, but you got to help me, like, make this army. He's like, whatever. So he goes back because he's double-crossed. He just wanted to go back on Earth to, like, carry out his bidding. He wanted to get revenge. Well, he kind of finds out he's a superhero of sorts. He is a superhero with all kind of powers. Looks very similar to Venom, but it's created by the same guy. So it's like you can't... What are you going to say to that? You know, like if somebody's like, oh, he was too close. No, they're same guy.
Yep.
So he eventually, and then it's John Leguizamo, who kills this movie as the Violator. He's so good as that clown.
Yeah, I love that clown.
One of my favorite clowns.
Yeah.
He does such a good job, but he's really the guy... Kind of like the devil's little bitch trying to make Spawn do all of his bidding. But eventually Spawn says, fuck that. I do what I want. He ends up... The goal, what they want from him is to kill his boss. Because they put this thing in his boss. So if he kills him, this virus will be released upon the world that will fuck everything up. It's called the coronavirus. That's not...
I think that's how it happened originally.
Yeah. That's what they said. Mm-hmm. No. But here's what it is. They put this inside of him, and the idea was, hey, if we make him really mad at his boss, he's going to come back and kill him, and this will release the virus into the world. But Spawn gets a change of heart, doesn't kill him, ends up healing him, taking that thing out of his heart in a horrible CGI scene. And he kind of wanted to take his wife back, but he realized that his wife was happy because his best friend like kind of married her and took after her and his kid, like, which at first, like, it felt fucked up, but then, like, throughout the movie, it was, like, kind of like a bro move, like, because dude was a high-profile guy, and he's like, I'm not gonna let somebody kill my dude's wife and daughter, and he was single, so it was, like, it was kind of fucked, but it was, like, in that situation, like, it almost felt like it's like some Shane Walking Dead shit. It's not cool, but it's like, well, dude, I can see the fucked up mindset of like how that would happen. I don't feel like initially it started as dating. I feel like I'm going to protect you guys because you're my fuck, and then like you just end up being the provider.
Sure.
Like, not like I'm coming in to fuck this girl. I don't think that. I think
but I'm sure he does. You know.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely. But I feel like it would be from her part because she's just like, now you're the protector. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get blowed.
I thought he was dead.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Know.
So it's like one of those situations where you're like, at first when you see it, you're like, what a motherfucker. But then you're like, oh, no, actually I feel like he's like raising his kid. He's like protecting his kid. And like, you would hope, maybe not that he's going to start banging and marry your wife, but like if something happened to you and you were in some kind of high profile situation, that your dogs would like protect your children.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. That makes sense when you say it like that, yeah.
So that was kind of cool. But I have to say, Mark, it really pisses me off. You want to know what pisses me off?
What pisses you off, Christian Ramey?
There was this just whole bullshit. I don't know when the year may have been, Like, but there's just this ideology with certain black characters that piss me off. Because what happened, like, right around when Black Panther came out, people were like, we finally have a black superhero. And I'm like, are you a fucking idiot? Like, you're racist for saying that. We're not going to talk about Blade. We're not going to talk about Spawn. We're not going to talk about fucking Bishop. We're not going to talk about any, like, we're tip of the iceberg here. Like, we're not going to really dive into those characters who I grew up loving, who a lot of us did. That's bullshit. You can like the Black Panther, but this weird movement of, like, it's the first black superhero. It's like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's just a bunch of generational kids that don't know about any of them other of them. So
and that's what frustrates me, honestly.
They don't know their history.
And that irritates me. I am not a person who is ever going to paint, like, black characters as victims in my mind. I just don't like that. I don't look like. That's why I don't like Jordan Peele's movies. I really don't. I feel like that's his ideology of, like, always making a black person a victim in his film, and it just really has a disconnect in certain kind of ways, because you're like, dude, since the beginning of horror, there's been black people, there's been gay people. Like, this is the place for everyone, bro. Like, of all races, all sexual orientations. Have you ever been to a horror convention? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's never been a black superhero. Like, Spawn is the shit. Blade was the shit. And I think that needs to be understood. Like anytime people say things like that, like, you know, Jordan Peele's finally, there's black horror movie for once. I was like, yeah, Candyman never came out, huh?
Oh,
never happened. Never happened.
Don't fall for that shit. I hate it, dude. You know, it picks me up. I hate when, like, for example, all of us black people got to stick together. All of us white people got to stick together. All of us Mexican people all those Asian people got to shut up.
Yeah.
You're not gonna all stick together. Y'all hate each other. I hate my neighbors. They're white. I don't say you're telling me you like all black people. If you're a black person, you tell me you like all
How
black
about we just like good people?
How don't you just like good people? How about you like bad people? If there's a bad thing, we're all Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even if you're not in America,
Shut the fuck up. You
let's
gotta
love
stick
people
together.
Yeah, but I'm just not for the erasing of culture to
No.
play a victim. No,
that's
there
bullshit.
have been black superheroes, and this
Absolutely.
I've been fucking with Spawn since way back, bro. Pre-internet, I've been fucking with Spawn. Like, this is my dude. I had the little figures. So I don't want to hear it. Black Panther was cool. I liked Black Panther.
They need to put Spawn in the Marvel movies, and they'll be like, who's that? Put it in that.
Well, I'm glad that you brought this point up, Mark.
Put it in that. That would be badass. I might actually watch the stupid Marvel movies then.
Here is the point of this, Mark. Here's the point of all that, too.
Thank you.
This is a New Line Cinemas picture. The house that Freddie built. Same production company that released Blade. It's not, I'm not like hypothesizing here. Like, this isn't a theory. It's a said statement from people there and others. Spawn crawled so that fucking Blade could run. You know, like there was the things that happened bad with Spawn because there wasn't that much. Apparently, they just gave them the reins, like, to do whatever the fuck they wanted, and it just got kind of sloppy. Whereas they were a lot tighter on the people creating Blade, because they're like, all right, we've kind of been through this, and we need to make sure that this is really good. But back-to-back years of just like superhero movies, black superheroes, badass superheroes, taking out vampires, taking out hell creatures. Like, I'm all about that, bro. Like, both of them were awesome. But Spawn's look, his outfit, unlike anybody else. Now, I will say, like I said, I'm a little biased because I did read the books as a kid, but with the red cape, the green glowing eyes, like, there's no look like that, man. He's just cool as hell, in my opinion.
His suit's badass. That's one thing they kind of didn't really cheap out in this movie. That's the only thing that doesn't look really cheap, mainly is his suit. And the CGI with the suit is actually not even that bad. So you can tell most of their budget went into Spawn in the suit, which is good. That's what it needed to be.
Yeah, the devil was the worst. And
yeah, we don't know. I mean, we don't know. That's what hell might look like. Who the fuck knows? And that dude, because that last ending when they're down in hell, dude, it gives you a headache. It's so bad.
It
It's
does.
so bad it gives you a headache just watching it. I was getting a headache watching it.
We could with our technology we have now, we could make the better ending. But they were adventurous, and without films like that, you wouldn't have people testing limits and breaking walls, and that's needed. And this happened so that Blade could be what it was. And in my personal opinion, I love both. I grew up on comic books. I probably stopped right around middle school to high school. Like, I would say 8th grade's when I stopped with comic books, but younger, dude. Like X-Men, Spawn, Cable. Oh my God. I can't describe to you. And then they had all the cool advertisements in there. Just comic books were cool as hell, man. Pre-internet shit when we were bored.
Yep.
We had to do something. Remember looking in a Where's Waldo?
Yeah, dude. Every time I went in the school library as a kid, everybody would always, you'd have to find either that or I Spy.
Oh, yeah. Those were fun.
Yeah.
I got Waldos. I still do with the kids and stuff.
It's hard to find that son of a bitch
I'm starting to memorize our books.
where they are.
We just done them so many times, and then now they're like, how'd you know? I'm really smart. I was just kind of born this way.
I just got an eye for him.
Yeah. I'm just really smart. Just an intelligent man. That's really what it breaks down to do. So, Mark, I don't think this was the first time you've seen this, right?
No, I've seen it before. It's been a long time, though, since I have seen it. Kind of forgot. It's been forgotten in my mind, though, because it's been so long.
Yeah, I was looking at the idea for the season, I was looking at my Blu-ray collection up there, and I'm like, oh, shit, that would be perfect.
Oh, shit. It was a good choice.
You didn't have to rent it, did you? Did you remember to watch it?
Yeah, I still got, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I haven't had to rent anything this season, so thank you.
No problem, and it's crispy Blu-ray.
It was pretty nice. The bad CGI came in fucking clear as shit.
Yeah, baby. You saw all of those technical
Yes, I
things.
did.
Almost would probably look better in like an old bubble TV.
Oh, fuck yeah, it would. I don't have one of those, though.
I know, we need one.
Does anybody still have a bubble TV?
I'm sure a few people do. I want to get one of those old setups with like the VCR TV combos that we were fortunate enough to get when we were kids, if
Yeah.
your parents loved you.
Yeah.
Man.
My first TV was like a little 10-inch one.
I know.
Tiny
Like I
as
had like
fuck.
a 19-inch TV. Like I remember when I got it. I felt so cool. And that TV was so goddamn heavy. Like you could kill a man with that TV. Dude, a 50-inch TV you could pick up with one arm now.
Yeah.
Like
An 80-inch TV you can fling with one fucking arm.
those old Trinitron things, those big basement setups that were like silver, that were just humongous. Those things were weird because they were either really light or they weighed more than a country. Like they were like so heavy.
Yeah.
Like who made? Like you were mad at the manufacturer.
I know. And then, I mean, you were hyped when you got it down there, I'm sure. But then once flat screens came out, you're like, what the fuck?
Well, it was like the first flat screen. You remember? Because that TV was flat, but it wasn't like the thin joint
No, it
that
was
you
still
hang on the
bulky.
wall.
Yeah, it was still bulky as shit.
But the screen didn't have a curve to it. Like it wasn't one of those ones you
Yeah.
walk up where your hair gets staticky. You
Right.
remember those?
Mm-hmm.
Those, dude, the glass on them things. Like you could throw a baseball at an old TV, it wouldn't break. I bet. It's like
No.
it's just one of those things, dude.
I've tested the durability of old TVs before, and it takes a minute to break them. You got to put some force. You can't just casually just fucking flat screen. Now you can just flick it and you're fucked.
Oh, seriously. No, like the cars are the same way. A grocery cart, if it hits your car at a right enough velocity,
Dude, that's like
and sets off your airbags.
that's a $2,000 repair if a grocery cart hits your car now.
What happens if it hits it in the right spot and your airbags go off? Your car's totaled. You've totaled your car from a grocery cart.
That's
Like, what the fuck?
oh no.
Like, what the fuck?
That's why I want to get one of those old cars. Like, you know, there's
Cutlass.
but there's this parking lot party outside of the gym that I go to, and every like Saturday it's a big parking lot, and everybody comes up with their old cars and they just sit there and hang out in the parking lot. It's like fucking 30, 40 cars in
That's
there.
you in 20 years.
And there's a shit ton of people there. But I just see them roll down, and it's like, dude, it's like, God, like you don't worry about shit in those things. 'Cause those are just straight up metal with wheels.
Dude,
like
you
a hunk of metal with wheels.
You got
just
like an
bang.
old Caprice, you can just back into a telephone like, oh,
oops, whoops, the telephone would be gone.
Yeah, like you're worried for the pole.
You knock out the power and the whole fucking neighborhood went on them things. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's just that things are definitely made different.
And then you got dumbasses like rolling down in their Honda Civics with their big rice burners on. It's like, dude, this is not the place
I know.
for your little crap. I didn't know if people still had that, but some people still do, and it's very embarrassing.
Dude, it is. Like, you feel bad for them.
I know. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, they don't have friends. They don't have real friends to tell them, like, that sucks. Like, don't do that. But
I know why. Like you can have it sound clean, but don't make it sound loud like that,
no,
dude.
just stop. Yeah, you can tell we're getting older. Shit. But let's get it.
Kid.
Let's find out more things about this movie, Spawn.
Spawn.
Whoa.
Like,
Welcome to the
whoa.
What Do You Know here. This is a segment here where we're here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie. Now, if this is your first time here, this is how it's going to go down. We're going to tell you things we know about this movie. Now, you may know what we know, you may not what we know, but if you know what we know, you're going to have a we know-gasm. If you don't know what we know, we're about to find out what we know, and then you're going to have a we go-gasm, dude. All up in your fucking cornea with facts for your ass, because this is the most educational and entertaining podcast. That's what I've heard, and that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. So why don't I tell you something that I know about this movie here?
Please go on.
Okay. So there's a character in this movie called the Violator. He's a clown. Haha, he's a clown. So, guy's played by John Leguizamo, right? So there's a scene in this movie particular where they're hanging out in the alley and he's trying to tell Spawn, what the situation is. But then he walks away and then he kind of wobbles or whatever the hell he does. So he goes over to a trash can, opens up an old box of pizza.
Oh, pizza.
Yeah, and he picks it up and it's covered in wax worms.
Those are good for fishing.
Wax worms or whatever, and an anchovy. He takes the anchovy off. He eats the pizza. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's a movie. That's fake. There's a fake worms or something like that or something else not to be worms. Or they filmed it with worms, and he goes to eat it, and then they do it with something else. You're incorrect. Those were actual wax worms, and he actually ate the worms off of that pizza.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
Oh, my God. Better have some mints and some Listerine on straight for that.
This guy's eating worms.
Funny fact about it is, what's funny about that is after he ate it, he had to go throw up. He had to go spew, which I would have too. I know people eat worms and shit, like you can do that, like they're edible, but I don't want to eat worms.
Somebody should have filmed that because he would have looked cool because he's still in outfit,
Yeah.
Like, even if he was him throwing up, he's still in the outfit, so that'd look funny. That would just be...
Well, that's why I know. What do you know?
I know something about this. So depending on how you watch this movie, it's different. It's all rated a little different. Upon release, they sent this movie, well, I should say before release, they sent the movie to the MPAA. And they say, look here, this is a rated R picture. And they said, we don't want that. So they cut some scenes out, sent it back. They said, okay, PG-13. When home video came out, then they added the scenes back, and then it was rated R. So depending on what cut you're watching here, either the rated R or the PG-13. I recommend the rated R version because it fills in the gaps a little bit more. It's like the director's cut there, but depending on how you watched it, it's different rated.
Whoa.
Yeah, bet you didn't know that.
I bet you people who watched only the PG-13 version, if they go see the rated R version, they'll be like, whoa.
Whoa.
Their mind will be blown.
It will.
That's interesting. I never heard that in a movie before.
That's kind of interesting.
I thought it was very interesting.
Well, that's all I got. That's 2 facts for the Spawn.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. Hey, two's all you need. Two's all you need. Mm-hmm. All right? You filled up. Yes, they filled your shoes earlier. Now we filled your brain with our fact goos.
Yeah.
Yep. So enjoy that. Clean yourself up. And we'll see you later.
Yep. Hello. I am the sponsor of Sponsor, Sir Spawn. Yeah, I messed you up a little bit there. Welcome back, guys.
I don't know what you just said, but okay.
I'm the sponsor of Sir Spawn. Just trying. It's like one of the Sally Still seashores by the, you know.
What is it?
I'm the sponsor of Sir Spawn.
I'm the sponsor of Sir Spawn. Mm-hmm. It ain't too bad. If you say it in an accent, it's a lot easier.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? You know, see, we was rappers, so we got that skill a little bit. We've got the tongue work.
Yeah.
Have you seen lately on TikTok that Rest in Piss has been blowing up, and like people are like, yeah, if you listen to this one, you were a real one growing up, and it's like, yes.
What, Brother Lynch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I still got that shit on an old iPod. I got an old iPod in my vehicle that I bust out every once in a while. It's got my whole CD collection and everything I had on my old laptop. You know, the laptop where we used to record stuff on?
Oh, yeah.
Still got that laptop.
That's funny.
Yeah. I don't know how it still works. I haven't turned it on in a while, but it's like an old-ass Dell. Oof.
I remember you threw a whole bunch of flour on people at a Brother Lynch on concert.
Yeah, that was an accident. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. We don't need to talk about the past. It's funny, though. You know, everybody fucks up every once in a while, okay? You know, they shouldn't have threw the flour at me. What the hell are you going to do? I was on drugs anyway, so I wasn't in the right state of mind.
It was funny, though.
I wasn't prepared to do Olympic trial activities with a bag of flour. That wasn't on my agenda of what to do.
If the bag didn't open up, it would have been a good throw. But by the time you went through it, it was empty. And it was just everyone around us was wearing it. And you were just like, oh, my bad, everybody.
Dude, everybody... Like, what do you do, though? Like, I mean, what do you do when just a perfect circle is just around you? I know I fucked up, too, because, like, when I started, before I started to turn, the bag was heavy, and then by the time I threw it, it was not heavy anymore. So, but everybody just, dude, you haven't lived until you cover everybody in flour around you, and everybody's just fucking staring at you.
Well, at one of those concerts, you never know what you're going to be covered in. You know, that kind of event.
No, you're going to get covered anyway. You might as well be flour. It's a funny story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was known as a flour guy, a bunch of people probably, but whatever. Anyway, what's your favorite part of this movie, Christian Raby? The Spawn.
I'm going to have to go with the graveyard scene when Spawn first becomes Spawn. It's just really funny. Violator is crushing it throughout the whole scene. Spawn's like, where are we? He says, where old people go after they leave Florida.
Yeah, dude, the Violator kills it. My favorite part is in that same scene you're talking about. It's when there's kids there, and they're doing, like, trying to do satanic rituals or whatever. And they find Spawn and the Violator. And they tried, like, are you guys from hell or whatever? And the Violator goes, why does God get all the good followers and we get all the retards?
Yes. Dude, the whole scene, he's crushing it. But he calls Spawn Crispy. You know, that was really funny. And he calls him Curious Crispy at one point. His one-liners, dude. John Leguizamo deserves the roses for this movie because he's just on, always. He's like a little Don Rickles or something, dude. He just won't quit.
No, he makes the movie for me. He made it more entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It would have been too serious without him. Like, it needed him.
No, if it didn't have him and it was all serious all the time, it would be a way more horrible movie than it was.
Yeah, I agree.
He keeps it entertaining. He's a really good bad guy. You know?
Great bad guy. And the makeup work on him was great. Like, him as a clown alone.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, he looked great.
Absolutely.
And he's his own. Like, there's so many times with clowns, like, where you see people in public. It's either, like, you've got, like, the Barnum and Bailey clown, or somebody's just either imitating Pennywise, old or new, or you get, like, Bozo, or you get a Captain Spaulding. There aren't that many characters that people know to their heart, whereas if I showed this clown to somebody, that's not like that's just a clown. They're like, no, that's Violator. Like, they know him.
I'm surprised I haven't seen... Well, you have to be a specific build to be the Violator, I guess.
Well, they put him in a big old fat suit.
Oh, no, you need to be that, but you need to be short, too.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised there's not a lot of cosplays with that. Do you think John Cena got his inspiration from the Violator to wear the chain with the lock on it around his neck?
Maybe.
I noticed that.
Dun, 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 dun. Maybe, man. I don't know. Whole Cena.
Mm-hmm. That thought went through my mind as I was watching it.
He's like, I could pull that off with some jean shorts.
And he did.
With wristbands.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, lots of wristbands.
You gotta have wristbands.
Of course. In the 2000s, we needed them.
Oh, yeah. Everybody had a wristband.
Allen Iverson destroyed us.
Stupid ass fucking elastic wristbands too.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere.
Live strong.
Mm-hmm.
One of my balls fell off, so you better live strong.
Yeah.
But I did steroids, so now it's weird. Live strong. We didn't care. It became a fashion statement at a point. We're like, we don't care about you or your balls or your steroids, dog. We just like the yellow bracelet. That's what we like. So that's what we did. We wore them. And then Nike started making them.
Yep, then it gets watered down like everything else. Like everything else.
Those things still hang on a little bit. I still see kids wearing them from time to time.
Yeah. I mean, things make comebacks. They come and they go. Nothing dies forever, I guess.
Children
Fashion-wise.
get older.
Fashion-wise, it doesn't. But suit, I like Spawn's. Just imagine if you had Spawn's suit. Oh, dude, it'd be so
Climbing up
badass.
walls, you got chains.
You can
could-
do anything. You just like. I like how he explains it too. It's like, dude, there's a trillion options of what you could do with that suit. Anything you can think of, that suit will fucking do.
What
It's
was
crazy.
What was old boy's name? The dude that was like his Van Helsing, like his whisperer. What was that guy's name? I forget his fucking name, but that guy was awesome. Like the guy that was like telling him how to use his powers and stuff.
Yeah.
And he tested him out. Like once he learned how to use his powers, the movie got infinitely cooler.
Oh
And
yeah.
I really liked him on the motorcycle. That was badass. Like
Yeah,
him,
that
like
was cool.
when he's glowing up.
Yeah. It was cool, and he could shapeshift. I love how when they crashed the truck, and Violator's just floating away in the flames, like, I'll see you every day.
He said, I'll see you at Wanda's.
That's how you don't crack up at that part.
Super funny.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you can't not laugh at this, and it's weird though because there are some big actors in this. I mean, Michael Jai White is huge. I mean, he's been in so many things. You know, Martin Sheen, obviously. So, and then Melinda Clarke, she's in it too. She's kind of like the bad lady. There's so many people in this that are reputable actors, well known. But it's weird that I don't want to say it sucks because I do love it, but it's just not a great movie. So it's like, for being put together by so many good people, it was almost just too ambitious for its time. It was a victim of 1997.
Yeah.
You've got mail.
I'm
that was
sure-
like the computers people had.
There's not a remake of it, is there?
Nah, but there was cool cartoons.
Yeah, I'm sure it will make its way to the remake Guillotine eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It
Anal
has to.
Spawn. Yeah.
Downloaded the wrong one again.
Happens.
Oh.
That happens.
I know, that's just, that definitely happened to somebody on LimeWire.
Bro, down.
For
Oh
sure.
yeah.
For sure. So if you've seen Anal Spawn, make sure you let us know in the comments.
That has to be a movie now that we're thinking of it. Like,
Dude,
you know
it is. You know it is.
It's me, the Anal Spawn.
All right, enough of this. This is going to be interesting to see what this rates on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, because this is more sci-fi, but it is in the horror. It has horror in it, so it qualifies. It qualifies, but I want to know what it rates as a horror movie. So let's go through the portal right now.
Sloppy horror rating, baby, yeah!
Well, you made it. You made it through another portal to another realm, to another world, to another universe. This is the one and only one of a kind, world famous, world renowned Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, developed by your very scary movie companion, Christian Ramey. This is a horror movie rating system, not a movie rating system in general. Keep that in mind. He has developed a short-proof system of how to get a horror movie. What?
Just, you had me thinking there, though. Should we incorporate laughs? Should we do it like a horror comedy for Violator, or how should we do that? Because it's like a horror comic book. I don't know. It's comedy, action, horror. It's like,
No, because it's not a comedy.
no, but it's horror action. That's how they classify it.
Yeah, it's horror
Okay.
action, so we cannot put it into the laugh section.
Okay.
So how we're going to do this, we're going to do this in a series of 4 categories. 3 categories worth 3 points. Last category is worth 1 point. So for 8 total love.
10 points altogether.
Goddamn right, you son of a bitch. You get that every time. You get it every goddamn time. So let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
Screaming a 2. Big actors, but there's also not known actors as well. So it's Screaming a 2. Big time Screaming a 2. Even though it's got big people in it, nobody's really going crazy with their performance. But, I mean, it even has little Michael Hughes in it. Little boy from, Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and then Pet Sematary, he was Gage. Little boy just had a fucked up childhood. He's dealing with all these crazy people. But I'm going to go 2. It feels strong as a 2.
All right. 2 it is, my friend. 2 it is. So let's get on to the second category here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is kills.
There's some kills in this movie. Some deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Very action movie like. Some are like very disposable characters. They're like henchman deaths, where you're just like, and they're getting thrown off with like the Wilhelm scream,
Yep.
I feel like the sheer amount, I feel like 1.5 is what my mind is initially going to.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah, because I don't remember all the kills anyway. So I trust your judgment.
There's like a lot of them, but they're not that intense.
Yeah, they're not nothing to remember, but they're there. So that is 3.5 so far here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the third, final 3-point category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is fear.
I just don't see it scaring people. I just don't. I don't. Violator maybe for some kids. But
Or maybe when he turns into a big cricket or whatever the hell he becomes.
it has frightening elements, so I'm gonna fuck around and give it a 0.5 point because it does have frightening elements and creepy things. But Spawn feels like the kind of movie where if you're watching it, you kind of enjoy those things. So,
Yeah.
But I will give it its 0.5 point for frightening images and things of that nature,
Sure.
depicting hell.
Got to give it something.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, that hell is kind of scary. If hell actually looked like that, that would suck ass.
Yeah.
That'd give you a headache. Permanent headache. So that's 4 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the final 1-point category for 0.5 point each here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is rewatchability.
Yeah. I mean, truth being said, this is the only movie I have sex to. Every time I'm having sex, I need to have this movie on. I don't know what it is. At this point, it's just kind of like a tick. So, yeah, it is very rewatchable. But something about Spawn just gets me crazy. It's just like the mood, we're in hell, and, comic books, and then one thing leads to another.
Okay, I was not expecting that.
No.
And I know you joke around a lot, but I think you're actually being serious about that. So
Every time. Well, you reach a high one time, you're always chasing it.
yeah, I guess so.
Saw it a Benadryl. We were watching Spawn.
Shut up. All right.
We did a couple whippets.
Yep.
I had this chef's apron on. I cut a hole in it too. It was
Okay, what the fuck was that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's rewatchable. This is a very funny movie. I like it. It's enjoyable. This seems like it's a good TV movie, like on Sci-Fi or something. You flip it on.
I feel like
Definitely
it'd be
watch
an event if somebody's like, we're watching Spawn. It'd be something like, oh, come to the, like if you had one of those cool little bars where it's like, hey, we're watching Spawn, come watch, or it's like trivia night on Spawn, or it feels like it would be some kind of cool elite group of people that I want to be a part of. It's like, if we're doing Spawn shit, sign me up.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, man, we're going to watch Spawn one night and do this. Yeah, okay. Make a drinking game out of it every time that, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, whatever. I'm not a big drinker, but that's the kind of thing where you're going to get me signed up for.
All right. Well, that settles it. That is a total of 5 out of 10 for Spawn here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast, right back up in your ass. Middle of the road. It's a middle of the road horror movie. So if you don't feel like going left, or if you don't feel like going right, if you like going straight tonight, Spawn might be on that list of movies that you want to watch if you're looking for that. And now you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you're looking at me like I did something wrong.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Not at all.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
You look a little weird there.
I do that sometimes. It's just this.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I don't know what it is. It's just your face. Okay, is there anything I can do to fix it? No. No. That scene's one of the funniest scenes in any movie. No.
Oh, man.
Good stuff. Spawn's good stuff. And honestly, if you haven't seen it, please go in with super low expectations. Go in with crazy low expectations. Because I would look at it more like a fun time movie versus like something serious. Just go in expecting nothing, have some fun, and then, let us know what you think about it. If you're big fans of Spawn, obviously let us know in the comments all about that. Now, I must say, too, I must, direct all of you nerds. We got big things happening on Patreon. Mark and I are about to do some games. I've talked to some, fellow horror content creators too, to do some certain things as far as interviews, things like that. We got big things in the work, dog. It's big things, and you guys are not going to be a part of that if you aren't on the Patreon. Now, we will from time to time sprinkle in some free episodes too. We appreciate all you members on there. We really, really do. But there's so many of you guys on there, like Ashley. Obviously, we got to give a big shout out to Shane too. Shane's been on here since the beginning. Shane,
That's a real motherfucker right there.
Now, I didn't get any, once again, like Ashley, Shane. I don't want to expose your last name. Some people don't like that. Mark doesn't like that. Some people don't like that. So once again, I said message me on Patreon if you want me to call you by something else. But, we need you guys to know that we love you so much. And if you're going to support the show, we're going to give you guys little shout-outs at the end of the episode. So, Ashley, thank you so much. You're going to be a part of these cool interviews coming up and this game show.
Ashley.
Shane, I know that you'll be there for these interviews
Shane's
and
not
whatnot.
allowed. Shane's not allowed.
Oh.
It's not allowed.
I'm sorry, buddy.
That son of a bitch ain't allowed. Dude, he's cracking me up, though. Shane, he bought one of those giant skeletons.
I know.
And he keeps decorating it up every holiday. It's hilarious. I love it.
Super funny.
I love it. Keep doing that shit.
Hey, yeah, every holiday. That's what makes it even cooler, though.
He didn't dress him up for Flag Day, though. You son of a bitch. He just went right to summer. 4th of July. He skipped Flag Day. Shame on you.
I know, like same with another one of our biggest Patreon members, Fupa Juice, which is a hilarious name, but I don't want to like expose people's names and shit if they don't want that, but I do have to expose you as a real ass sloppy whore, and we do love y'all so much. But all those bonus episodes, you can find those at patreon.com/sloppyhorror, and then at the same time, y'all, we've gone crazy with the fucking merchandise. We have gone crazy. And you guys need to hop on it because a lot of these things are limited time availability. A lot of these shirts, I'm going to make some fresh horror shirts, but a lot of these things are limited due to size and product availability. But also, too, some of these shirts are going to be so badass that I'm flirting with something that I don't want to be on the internet for 2-3 years. They're just going to be so hot that you got to get these when they're ready, okay? Got a Wes Craven shirt out there now. All right, Craven is still fucking king. Looks amazing. Looks beautiful. We've got an OG villain shirt that's got like a Frankenstein Dracula kind of deal. There's some sweet shirts that y'all need to check out, but these are June only. So if you don't get a hold of these, I don't know what to tell you. Now, certain ones, depending on the availability, if there's still some left, I might stretch them out. But there's going to be new merch each and every month. So this is how it's going to work. So you better get the shit. New seasons, yeah, there's going to be new merch. You want the Hello, My Name Is season and we're in another season? Sorry about you. It's gone. She's gone.
You gotta jump on it.
Jump on it.
It sucks. If you're behind, you gotta stay up to date. You gotta stay up to date or you're gonna miss out. Mm-hmm. Like I've been missing out because I don't, I forget. Mm-hmm. So we gotta remind you.
But some of these shirts, though, seriously, it's above. I'm going a step above making something just for Sloppy Horror to keep us afloat. I'm trying to make some of the coolest horror merch that anybody's seen. And that's what I like to wear. I like horror merch. I know what the fuck I want to wear. And I'm starting to put these in t-shirt form. I'm starting to crank these out. So seriously, guys, help the show out. And then, if you look and you say, hey, I don't have the money for this today. No big deal. No big deal. Keep looking at that website because we don't control when the sales come out, but there are sales that come out because every week or two, 25% off, 15% off, buy one, get one. There's certain things that you need to take advantage of. So just always kind of, you get bored, get a couple bucks, you look on there and wait for your opportune moment to pull the trigger. It helps us out big time. And if I see y'all out in the convention or anywhere wearing sloppy horror stuff, I'll eat your ass on spot. On spot. I'll call Mark there.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can like spread the cheeks for you or something.
Well, depending on who's wearing it, I might need a lot of help.
No.
First person I find is Margot Robbie. You're like, motherfucker!
Yeah, I know. Damn it.
She didn't even know this show. I know, dude. Yeah, but that's seriously, guys. We thank you all so much for the love and support, everything that you guys do, and it's not stopping. This train keeps on rolling. We're here to entertain you with horror in each and all kind of ways that we know how, and we're always trying new things. So that's just how it works. Now, next week's movie, we're shaking it up.
Now, isn't that a season finale?
Yeah,
It's a season finale, you say?
season finale.
Well, what is the hint of the season finale, sir?
Well, it's another New Line picture,
Oh.
and it is a part of a universe known as the Conjuring Universe.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be very scary.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, somebody's name's in it.
Oh,
Somebody's
no.
name's in it. It's a little wooden bitch.
Oh no, I don't like that little wooden bitch.
She's got pigtails.
She's very scary. I don't like the dolls.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I want to, jump into the creation of her, see what's going on. So, if you yeah.
This is when she was created, you say.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds very scary. I feel like that's going to be a very spooky picture for next week's season finale.
See, that's what I'm talking. The voice acting. I'm telling you, dude. We're doing some of these little spooky radio dramas. They're so fun because you got it, bro. Like I would not know that was you if you left me a voicemail like that as someone else. I would not know that's you. You know what I'm saying? Like I know it's you because I see it's you, but like I wouldn't know that was you. I always try to strive to do that.
You
If I
wouldn't know it was me, huh? Well.
If you see a random payphone, like there's a party where you just want to call a friend and you're like, all right, if he picks up, I'll break his balls, but you kind of hope for the voicemail because they don't check those right away.
Oh, no, I used to love leaving you voicemails. Dude, you used to leave me like 5-minute voicemails of just the randomest shit ever. I miss doing that. But I don't ever like call. Every time I call somebody, they usually answer. I gotta remember to do that because that's fun. So you guys could do it too. Anytime your friend doesn't answer, just leave them a voicemail and just say the most fucked up shit or just random shit. It don't matter. It's fun. Try it out. It's very fun.
I want to have like the secure phone number though, but it would be really funny though just to call a friend and just you stole my milk out of my fridge, you fucking bitch. You don't come in my house.
Yeah, hi, this is your neighbor Randy. I'm just calling you because your backyard gate was open and, I don't know what got out, but when something gets out, I ran the whole neighborhood. I remember you had a dog or a turtle or something. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, just wanted to let you know that, we're having a bake sale coming up in the neighborhood. Everybody rolls around. It's great. It's
we
fantastic.
know you make the good muffin bread.
Yeah, your wife's muffin bread, it would be killer. I'm telling you, it would make so much charity for everybody. But you gotta cut your grass first, because everybody's gonna be around, and it's gonna be great. You listen to shit like that.
I'm gonna be yelling. You don't take a man's milk.
I wish I would have saved some of the
Hanging out
voicemails,
my
dude,
thread.
that you left me. I wish I still had some of those, because they were just ridiculous.
It's like that song Scatterbrain. You just try to say anything you can that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
That's a great song.
I
by
love
the way.
that song. I still listen to that song to this day.
It's like one of Violent J's best lyrical displays. Like actually, if somebody's like, are they talented? And you're like, kinda, yeah.
in a
Listen,
way.
this is like actually a very talented song. Like if you think about
Where's
it.
the swimsuit at? The soup's on in Argentina. What?
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't know. But it's fun. And you should have fun. So have fun, watch Spawn. You obviously know what the next movie is, so make sure you get to that before the episode comes out so you can join the fun and do all the crap that, Christian Ramey was talking about, because I need to do that too.
You little anal spawns.
Yeah, and until then, we'll be back next week up in your ass to keep it nice and airflowy. So, you got anything else?
You know, I think that's it.
Okay, good. We're gonna go now. Goodbye.